Hello again everybody, and this is a new tutorial in our channel about learning Java application. Today we will learn about basic mathematical operations on integers and doubles. As we talked in the previous tutorial about primitive types, the most famous primitive type that stores numbers are integers and doubles. We'll continue using Eclipse and we will start by defining two integers. For example, we have the basic mathematical problem. For example, Jack bought 3 apples, then his father gave him 4 apples. So we'll define an integer named by, for example, we would name the integer by, and Jack bought 3 apples, so we'll give it a value of 3. And then his father gave him 4 apples, for example, and father, we named the integer father, and now we'll give it a value which is 4. So now in order to have a result, we will do int result equals, and now this is how we use the primitive type variables. Now we only call the name of the integer and do operations. So we say int result equals by plus father and semicolon, and now result is equal to by plus father, which is 7. We can check that by printing it on the console by writing system.out.print result. Okay, and now we run the code, and the result should be 7. And here it is, 7. Okay, and of course instead of the plus we do minus, and it will be -1. Okay, and we can do multiplication and division. Okay, so now we need to learn another thing. Mathematical operations follow the same order of operation followed by the normal math. It goes from left to right, priority is to brackets, then multiplication and division, and last addition and minus sign. Okay, so now we learn something. When we cast, like divide or multiply or add an integer with an integer, the result is always an integer. Whereas when we add a double with a double, for sure the result is a double. But when we add an integer and a double, the result is a double. So we need to do, like for example, double d equals 5.4. Now when we do this, result for example equals d plus y, it will give an error because we said int result, which is referring to result by int, and it's not an int, it's a double. So that's why Eclipse will underline it with a red line and will say change it to double, change the result to double. That's how we fix the error. So when we add integer and double, or when we multiply, when we cast any operation, the result is double because double is a stronger type than integer. So always it wins over integer. Okay, so now d plus b equals double. You can see the decimal place, which only appears when it's a double. Okay, so now we need to point out a very important example, very important example, which is dividing integers and doubles. For example, int 1 equals 1 and int 2 equals 2. Now, when we try dividing 1 over divided, sorry, by 2. We need to see the print. Of course you can without uh, sorry, I forgot the semicolon. Without giving it as an integer a result or a double for or whatever, you can automatically say print to the console 1 divided by 2 or 1 multiplied by 2. There is no need to give it uh, a value in a integer or a double that's called result. But it's better when you have a long program to store it in an integer, then call the name of the integer, for example result, to be printed on the console. It's more neat, gives a better code in order to fix things or to trace errors. Anyway, so now the result should be 0.5, but since we are dividing two integers, it will be rounded to the lowest. It will remove every single decimal place, ignoring it. Even if it is 0.9, it will appear as a 0 on the console or on the integer that we named it result, wherever. An integer divided by an integer will be an integer always. It will remove every single decimal place. So we can see here, instead of giving 0.5, it will give a 0. You can see, guys. And the fix for this bug, not bug, it's not a bug, it's a problem. The fix for this problem, we can do here double 2 equals 2, but here it will read 2 as an integer, so it will, sorry, it will read 2 as a double, and it will give it 0.5. So now we fixed the problem by saying that int divided by double, Java will understand that the result is a double. It will not allow you to make the result as integer. So the result is a double and it's 0.5. That's it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We can do long mathematical operations. We'll talk about that later. Now, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you understand it very well. For any questions, please comment on the video and we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.